Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. I wanted to introduce the topic of water consciousness today. You may have heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto, who studied water crystals, and I have this deck based on that and some water crystals here that he did. So here's one of self-love, for instance, and another of love for humanity. Between these two, I can see some similarities on the outside here, and with the intentions that have love involved within them. Another here is love and thanks. And finally, affection and gratitude. So these seem to be, fairly similar intentions, with some aspects that are also similar within them. Another person who studied water consciousness is Veda Austin, and I was really intrigued by her video and her technique of freezing water within petri dishes. And I like to think of the fact that our bodies are 90% water, and the earth as a body is largely water as well. And so I like the idea of water being a conscious being. And so I wanted to stay on the theme or the question of how do we expand our inner light, and use this technique to try to find some greater clarity within that. Or at least it's another way of trying to find more information about a topic or a question. So I want to switch over to my iPad, where I've captured the images of water consciousness with regard to this question of how do we expand our inner light. So let's switch over to that now. So I've switched over to my iPad, which I'm going to remember to start recording this time. I did it once and did not remember to set up the record. So here we go again. So again, there's this water consciousness technique that Veda Austin is working with to determine a language that water may relate to us. And I've done 2 iterations of water consciousness around the topic of how do we expand our inner light. And within this, there are both one with a dark background and a light background to help us see more of what comes through. So the first one I have here is of the dark background, and this is the first petri dish that I froze, and with the intention of how do we expand our inner light. And the first thing that really sticks out to me is this large M. And then there is like an A over here, and also I see scissors. So MA to me is striking me as the first 2 letters in make. So that signifies to me our creativity. What can we make in the world? And then also, what can we cut away from what we make? To expect that what we create, at least initially, is not going to be the most perfect thing. That the creative process entails both putting something into it and taking something away. Another aspect here that really sticks out is this image here. And if you look at it coming down this way, it looks like maybe a dragon or a raven or an eagle, like diving in from the sky. But if you look at it this way, there's kind of this softer image here. And this one reminds me more of a turtle. But the original image of something coming downward reminds me of spirit coming in to interject ideas. But there's kind of a fierceness in this image coming downward. So the image coming back up seems to be softer. And so to me that indicates kind of a balance between spirit and the physical realm, a balance between the energy of fierceness and the energy of being soft and receptive. It might also indicate masculine and feminine. So those images are pretty prominent. There's also one image that I would call more of a needle, and then there's also a little piece of a bubble with a line through it here, and kind of a circle here. And in Vedas Austin's work, some of it relays that those are like coins or receiving something from. The needle to me also represents that receiving, and that a thread is a threading of the needle is receiving that thread. So there's some aspect of being able to receive, so that our creations, our light, are not standing by themselves, but we're interacting with others. What else did I see in here? Oh, this is kind of an interesting image to me, but it looks like a foot right here. So maybe that has to do with taking a stand in the world, standing on your own feet, even when you're in relationship with others, that's part of our inner light expansion. And I never know which way these images we are to look at them, because there's not like an up or down to be involved with. But here we can look down more, blow it up, and see other things going on. Now, I'm still kind of new at this. I'm very interested in the topic of water consciousness and what information water as a being on the earth can bring us. I'm intrigued by the fact that our bodies are mostly water. The earth is covered by more water than earth. And so I think there might be something to this. So I thought that maybe I saw like somebody walking down here. I'm not sure exactly what that means at the moment, but it's just something I'm noticing. as I begin this practice with you. So let's go look at the same image but on a light background. This one. And what I noted within here, and I have some lines apparently from the first time I went through, but down here there's these ferns. And Veda notices those as friendships or connections. Friendships and connections. And then I feel like you can see the scissors a little bit better there. Come on. And I was also wondering about these other openings that were kind of like the coins that we talked about earlier, but I'm not sure what those are inviting us to see at the moment either. But I have an interest in looking at those. Okay, so that was the initial information. So it's in one petri dish. It's been frozen, and now I've poured off remnants of that into a second petri dish and refrozen it. And on the dark background, this is what we get. And one of particular interest to me, when I moved this one around, I saw what this, like a mountainous form here. And this was reminding me of Devil's Tower for some reason, and the legends surrounding Devil's Tower. There are several, like 4 or 5 native tribes that have different stories about Devil's Tower. But to me, this represents a spirituality. And right beside this, or included within this, is kind of this spiritual form, kind of like with robes, which I think further emphasizes this aspect of spirituality. And then I wasn't quite sure, but there seems to be something right in the middle here. Maybe if we take it all away and then look at this part here. It's like a protrusion from the two aspects, like maybe something in the middle then grows from those stories or aspects of spiritual guidance. So then let's look at the last one, which is the same image but in the clear. And what I was interested in this one, which showed up more, was this area in here and here. And I've seen these patterns in Veda Austin's work, but I'm not finding a clear evaluation of it from her. I had seen some indication it could be some kind of resonance. And I was also thinking about ice and the way that when it laps over the top of itself, it would, create different levels of patterns. So maybe that has something to do with this here. So having resonance with what you are doing, and maybe resonance with others in what you're doing. And this one you can see some of these bottom lines a little more. And here's kind of some patterns going this way and that way, which she's indicated there's some kind of a matrix design to that. So I just thought this would be a fun topic to start exploring. It's something I'm definitely interested in, to obtain greater information with regard to questions and topics. And so I hope you enjoy doing this with me as, I learn and explore with you. Now I have created a playlist for this particular topic so that any discussions we do with its regard will be kept in one place. So the How Do We Expand Our Inner Light has its own playlist. And as I explore new topics, I'll be doing the same. So I hope you join me again sometime, and we'll see you again soon.